the light is currently on. So when we turn this on, it'll turn the light off because it's off. It should be off right now. I need to fix this real quick before I forget, because my test stream I did forget. Uh-oh. 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 Oh. This quickly. Damaging that poor pipe. It's at 5%. Okay. Oops. I was trying to prevent the damage that I just did to that pipe by doing what I did. And, yeah. Damaged it anyway. Alright. So, welcome back. Before we get started, I just want to give a big 07 for those of you watching these long-form videos. And thank you so much for your support. Yeah, just thank you. Because I've been seeing the numbers and everybody's been showing up. So I appreciate you all doing that. In today's video, we're all about automation today. So we're going to automate our grow light so that our plants will get enough sunlight to stay alive, because the Europa sun by itself is not enough. And we'll be automating the arc furnace to smelt ores for us, and then maybe fixing up the base because it's really starting to drive me nuts. There's a lot of wires and tubing and everything exposed, which I don't like. So anyway, so my goal of these videos is to get you clean technical value by the end of the video. So I hope by the end of this video I'll have earned your subscription. So let's get right into the build, shall we? All right, here we are. We've got our one plant planted. I have a need for drinking, which I will take care of here momentarily. Our plant is doing well. It is thriving and growing. Thriving is good, but it's in the dark, so we're going to go ahead and turn the light on for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to automate the furnace, or not furnace, the grow light here. I'm gonna get my notes up here, what I'm doing today. I gotta stick to a plan today. We're sticking to a goal. All right. So, first off, we're going to take care of the water issue, because that's a problem right now. Stick with that water. Now, we only have so much in the way of food as well, so I'm kind of running low. All that stuff for the moment. So we're going to, let's see, I have this action. Checklist. Oh, I need to get a nitrogen filter also. That's at 15% on that filter over there. So we're going to take care of that. Let's go ahead and eat another. Wow, that was loud. That cereal bar like bumped against my thing like it was a brick or something falling on the ground. All right. All right, our water's refilled. Let's top off that. All right. Water's refilled, all the good stuff. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to automate our grow light here. So, to start off with, the objective of the grow light is to actually have it come on and turn off when the sun comes up and when it comes down. So when our sun rises past Jupiter, the light will turn itself on. And then after the sun sets over here behind the mountain, it will turn itself off, so that it keeps a day-night cycle that simulates a normal day-night cycle here on Europa. Now, for potatoes, specifically for potatoes, they need 3 minutes and 20 seconds of darkness and 5 minutes of daylight per day. So as long as you meet those requirements, your potato will be fine. The sun comes up differently on Europa. We've got the Jupiter comes up right now. This is kind of like the eclipse period, where the sun is kind of behind Jupiter, and so we're in an eclipse. We still see some daylight out there, but it's not full daylight until it crosses over past Jupiter. So we have some sunlight right now, but it doesn't count as sunlight. So we're going to take care of that by basically, it's up by 5 minutes at least every day, which is all we need. As long as it's up by 5 minutes, we're okay. So the system will work, but it will not work for like wheat. Wheat requires 10 minutes of daylight every day. So there's not 10 minutes of daylight usually on Jupiter. So we would have to make a little bit of modification for that kind of thing. But for potatoes specifically, this will work. What we're going to do is we're going to start off by baking some chips. not potato chips. Nah, we're talking logic chips. So we're going to make 2 logic IOs for this. And I'm going to need a whole bunch of wire for today. I don't think I have enough wire to even come close to doing this. I've got 8 pieces right now. I'm probably going to need like 50. Probably more. Alright, we got 2 logic IOs. Alright, I'm going to take these over here. I'm going to place them up near my grow light. You don't have to, it doesn't matter where they are as long as they're wired in with the same circuit. So we're going to put this one kind of right here. And I'll put the other one right next to it. So we got one logic reader, and the other one has to be a logic writer. So you use your scroll wheel to change those. So we'll make this one a logic writer. Now, there's 3 inputs on each one of these. There's one here, that's the input there, and then there's power on the top, and then on this side there's a output port. So when you're using a logic circuit, it inputs data on this side, it outputs data on that side, and then it gets its power from here. So if you're reading and writing, you're reading in from the data port on the inside, and you're reading out from the data port on the outside. You're writing out to the data port on the outside, right? So when we're doing our logic reader, the same thing applies here. We're reading the data in here, and then we're sending that data out from this thing, whatever that number is, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start making some wire here while I'm talking about this stuff, because I need to keep moving along here. I don't want to take too long. This should only take, hopefully we'll be streaming for about an hour today, so hopefully this video won't be too long. Alright, so we'll wire this in. I've got some wire available to me here, so we will take that. Wire this. We need the power side, so we're going to get power from the same line. This line has data and power. Now you can separate these things too, and I'll show you how to do that on the arc furnace automation when we get there. Oh, I just reset my system, so I got enough cable for the moment. Not enough for the whole project though. We'll just make maybe more. I'm going to need a ton of wire. All right, so put a wire here between this. We're going to need to actually hook this into the main line so that the input lines can be accessed from the system. I had that right the first time. Come on. Okay, there we go. And I reset my system again. I love that. I love it when it does that. 22, well, I think that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 more logic IOs because I need to make those for the arc furnace for later. Alright. So now the sucker's wired in. So now we're going to take our screwdriver. The screwdriver runs these little screwdriver holes, right? So we're going to... Oh, I knew what I needed. I forgot one thing. I got to make a... I'll wait for this to finish. We need a daylight sensor. So let's get a sensor. Let's go on the roof and hook that up. So do that next. This to my pocket. Put that in my belt. I don't necessarily need this for now. I will need that later. Okay, we got our sensors. So we're going to go outside now. I need to fix this real quick before I forget, because my test stream, I did forget. Uh-oh. 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 This quickly. Damaging that poor pipe. It's at 5%. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure in that line. Oops. Okay. Anyway. Now we're going to go outside. Let's put this up here. Put this up here. We're going to need the wire cutters on here. So, okay. Close that. So funny. I was trying to prevent the damage that I just did to that pipe by doing what I did. And, yeah. Damaged it anyway. Okay, some here will come to the ground. Alright, here we go. So I'm going to line this daylight sensor up to be right above this grow light right here. Daylight sensor. It has to be on the roof so that it has a maximum visibility of the sunlight. I originally started down there, but then like at this time of day when it was down low, there's a shadow was cast across here. So you have to have this in full daylight at all times. So keep that in mind when you place your daylight sensor. It needs the maximum amount of sunlight possible. Right, so we're going to wire this into our data ports on this side here. Okay, that's hooked in. So our daylight sensor. Now, on the daylight sensor, we're just a quick look at it real quick. You can see all the different things. Grid sunlight true, that's the one we want. I'll talk about that in a minute. The solar angle, the solar irradiance tells you how much power you can generate from the current sun, which is only 54 watts. Not much. Our horizontal and vertical angles, and then a mode default. We don't worry about that right now. I'm going to come over here and grab some of these wires because we're not using this anymore. Just take all this wire up. And then I'm also going to grab our arc furnace later because we'll need that. I'm going to grab all this wire here too. This is all useless wiring. Okay, and then we're going to wire in our light in here so I don't have to run the stinking light bulb in here anymore. Turn that on. All right, we're going to get this guy. This in my pocket in a minute. Oh, I didn't have a battery, so I guess I'm doing that. Well, actually, hold on. I got a battery. Hold on, let's grab this battery out of here. Okay, there we go. All right. Now that we have our daylight sensor placed, we'll leave that door open, I guess. I'm going to leave this in the airlock because I'm going to need that outside anyway, and along with all those. Okay. Let's see. Let's make more wire. I'm going to need more wire. Well, we're going to have to go mining for some iron so I can make chutes, but I'm going to make a few here to start with. Find my iron. I think it's in this machine. It is. Alright, so put the iron in here. I'm going to make some chutes with this iron. Whatever I can make. Okay. Now we'll resume our coil creation after I put my back in there. Let's put this back in there too. We can also make a big battery as well. So we'll need some steel for that. Alright. Should be able to make like 4 of these. It should be more than enough for what I'm going to start with. I'm going to put these right here by the window so I can grab it from the outside. Got a bunch of cable. I'm just going to try and make sure I have enough cable so I don't have to worry about it. Alright, I really need to get this automated. Okay, so the sun is fixing to go down, so I'm going to actually turn this off by hand for now. That's good. That's 50. That's 50. We're going to just leave that wire right there. Alright. So, let's start finishing up this first. Alright, so what we're going to do, automate this light. I'm going to turn this actually back on real quick just so we can see how this works. But we're going to start off with the input device is going to be, for the logic reader, we're going to look and we want to read the daylight sensor, right? So we're going to say, hey, daylight sensor, is the sun up, right? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come over here and we're going to look for activate, right? And then that tells us, is the sun up? And in activate, it says 0. That means the sun is not visible to the daylight sensor right now. When it's up, it'll have a 1, which is good, because 1 or 0 is on or off, aka that's what we're going to do with the light. We're going to turn it on or off based on whether or not the daylight sensor can see the sun. All right, so now we're going to come over to the logic writer. So now that we got our data, now we're going to tell the data where to go. So that's what the logic writer is for. So we're going to take the input from the logic reader, whatever is on the logic reader, and we're going to send it out to the the grow light, right? And then we're going to tell, okay, so what variable do we want to do on the daylight or on the grow light, right? So we're going to do the on or off, right? So then when this thing reads 0 and the light is currently on, so when we turn this on, it'll turn the light off because it's off. It should be off right now. So when the sun comes up, the logic reader will change to 1 and the light will turn on. Now, key things you want to make sure you have done is make sure you have your data port plugged into your daylight sensor. That way it can be detected by these devices, your grow light. And then the same with the daylight sensor up top. It's just got to be hooked into the wire. And then all of those have to be in the same circuit as the logic reader and the logic writer so that it can be read from the input side for this and the other one above on both of these. and then be able to write out data to one or the other. Technically, this line right here is all we need here. But because, no, this, we have to actually have both, because we're going to read out to the, reading out to the daylight sensor, or the grow light, so we have to have that hooked into, we have to be able to see the grow light on here on this side. So we'll have a much more simplified setup for that. But basically, that's how you set up your grow light to automatically turn on and off when the sun is up. Okay. All right. So that's that. Now we'll talk about automating our furnace. So to do that, we're going to have to do a few more things. You still have to build 2 logic circuits, which we already have out there. Chutes to run the chutes to the base. Now we're going to go outside. I'm going to take my... I don't need these walls. I don't know why I have these wall pieces on me. And the frames. I do need some frames, though, I think. No, I don't. I've got all the frames I need. I'll put those frames out here. Put them near the wall in case I need to grab some from outside. We'll just put all this junk near the wall. I probably should put it in that room, but yeah. All right, we're going to go mining for more ores later. So for right now, let's go ahead and set this up, and then we'll show you how this works. So I do have some ores in here that we can smelt initially. Let's hold up for a second. I gotta get a new battery. My suit. I need to actually go ahead and make that larger battery I was gonna do earlier. One of those. This is gonna be for my drill. Alright, so handheld tablet doesn't have a battery. Let me put that in there. What else doesn't have a battery? That's not fully charged. We're just gonna do a quick charge up on all the batteries. This one on there real quick. Get a second. Okay, that one's charged. This one's charged. Okay, I don't want to make more than one of these. Just do one. Okay, put that in there. Put this full battery on the wall here for just a minute. Alright, so that guy's going to charge. I've got a full battery in my suit. Oh, the drill needed a battery. That's the battery, the drill battery. Okay. My mining drill needs a battery charge, probably. Where's my oh yeah, belt is over here. Yep, it needs a little top off. We'll just top off 63%. I might just leave that. Okay, let's go. We got stuff to do today. We don't have time to wait around for battery charging all day. That should be enough power. If it's not, well, you know, that'll be fun. I'll run out of battery when I'm out there. Okay, let's minimize this. And we're going to go around over here and put up our arc furnace so we can automate that. All right. To automate your arc furnace, this is how we automate our arc furnace. This is where we start. Editor, you're going to pick up, and we're going to start right here. All right, we're going to take our arc furnace. We're going to place it near our window so we don't have to have such long chutes to worry about. We're going to have to wire in the power for this thing, which we'll do inside. Probably should have done that before we started, but for right now, we're going to get our data lines hooked up over here. Take this. This is our logic I/O, okay? For the logic on the arc furnace, to automate that, we're going to need a slot reader. And you can't put it there because the battery will be, or the wire will be in the way. So we're going to put a slot reader right here, and right next to it, we're going to do a batch writer. Sorry, not a batch writer, a logic writer. So we're only writing one thing. All right. Now we're going to hook in the data lines. So we're going to put some data on our input side. Our input side is where we get information in to the reader. In this case, we're going to get information from our arc furnace. So we need the arc furnace hooked into the input side. Now for the other side, that is our output. Run the wire over here to the other side. Show you what we're going to do that in a minute here. Okay, so our input side is reading in from the arc furnace, right? And then we're going to read what slot we're going to read. We're going to read this side over here, the input side, the import side. If there's anything in the import side, it's going to trigger this to turn on the activate button here. All right. So that is where this comes into play. The logic writer is going to be our activate button for the arc furnace. So we're going to put on the output side, we're going to hook in to our data port here so that the logic writer can read the arc furnace. Now, the only thing we need this thing to read is the information from this one. So we're just going to put one wire straight across. We're going to output from the slot reader to input to the logic writer. That's it. Nothing else. All right. Now, the other thing we don't have here is power. So we can't run these things yet because we don't have power. So we're going to hook up our power lines to get those ready. All right. I'm going to run that over here. We're going to hook in our arc furnace in the same power line. They don't have to be, but you can. Run that up the wall with this. All right. So there. Now we've got our power lines hooked up. We've got our arc furnace hooked up with power. I'm going to turn it on. We don't need to have it on just yet, but that's fine. Now we're going to program this real quick before we go back inside and hook up our power. So the slot reader is looking at our arc furnace. So we're going to set the input to arc furnace. The slot we're going to set to the import slot so that it knows that on the input side, when something gets put in there, we're going to do that. Now, what variable are we going to look for? There's several variables we can choose. Now, you can actually find all this stuff out in here when we look at arc furnace in the wiki, right? So inside here, down at the very bottom, are all the logic sections in here that you can do. So when you have power, you can read the power. You can lock it. You can read or write it. So you can set those values. I'm going to read what the status of the lock is, or I can write what the status of the lock is, if that means. We can clear the memory. That's a write only. You can read errors. You can output those errors to screens. It's really handy, all these different little things you can do. But the one we're looking for here is the on. So we can read what the status of the on is, or we can write to the status of the on. That's what we're going to do next. But you can figure out all these different things, right? Now, down at the very bottom, it shows you what all the output options are, 1 or 0, 1 or 0, 1 or 0. So everything on this thing is 1 or 0. That's it. It's getting kind of warm in here. I'm going to turn my fan on real quick here. Handy dandy little thing editor. You can take this out. Take that part out of the video. All right, editor, we're going to resume right here. Okay, so then we've got all those figured out, so you know what those mean, and that way you can come into the wiki, the Stationpedia here, and you can look and see what all this stuff can be done to this machine, right? So you can look at those things, you can play around with how those stuff goes, but for right now, we're just going to talk about the variable for the import slot. We're going to look at the quantity of the input. So as long as there's something in there, it's going to turn this thing on. All right. I'll look at something else real quick here. Total slots, damage, resource, max quantity, occupied. I could probably use occupied, but let's see what is occupied. Yeah, occupied is a 1 or 0, so that'll actually work. I could do that. Oops. Let's do. I'm gonna test out occupied real quick here. Okay, we can't turn it on yet. All right, so then we're gonna. Okay, once we have our logic, our slot reader program, then we're gonna work on. Did I not make that? I did not make that thing. I have to hook up this thing really friggin' quick because I need to smelt some of the iron that I have in my suit. Let's. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and wire in our power for our arc furnace. Run this wire up the wall. I'm hoping I'm in enough wire. Oh, that's facing up. Yep, up that way. Okay. All right, so now it is powered on. It is ready to go. So I'm going to hook up some chutes here. I'm just going to put one right here in front of this window, right about there, where it's lined up with the output. And then we're going to run outside. We're going to do this really quick. We're going to hold our breath. I have too much nitrogen in my suit right now. There we go, really fast. I'm going to hook up the rest of these chutes. This is where the automation side of things is going to come in really handy, because I don't have to stand out here and push this button. Come on. Come to the ground. Okay, there we go. We're going to hook up this chute, and we're going to hook up a corner chute here. Okay, so that will output, it'll spit it outside into the base, right? Let's go ahead and turn our logic writer on. Oh, did we not finish this? We did not finish this. Okay. We're going to do this really quick. I'm going to set my input. We're going to read the slot reader. We're going to set the output to the arc furnace. And then we're going to set the activate button as our variable. All right, so right now it detects there's nothing in it, right? So nothing is happening. We put ore in it, it will automatically start it, whereas normally we had to wait. All right, so we're going to let that smelt. I'm going to go run inside really quick because eventually my suit is going to fill up with nitrogen. It's not as fast as, like, you know, if running out of oxygen right away. So that's why we can do that a little bit quicker. All right. All right, so we're now inside. So now we're just going to wait for our ore to come out of our machine, because it will automatically come out. Now, the other side of this is we put in a input chute on this side so that I can basically just throw ores in from inside the base where I'm nice and cozy and happy. I can throw in the ores and it'll go into the arc furnace, and I won't have to do anything. I won't have to go outside or do anything because we have those logic circuits out there handling all the button pushing for us. All right, and there it is. It's done. So when we get everything all set up here, now I'm going to need to get some more iron so I can get some more chutes. First off, we're going to make a nitrogen filter so that I can breathe again. That was actually on my notes. Like, the first thing is turn the grow light on, get a nitrogen filter. Those are like the first two things on my list. But, like, you know, I didn't do the nitrogen filter. I even said it at the beginning, hey, you need to get a nitrogen filter, but I didn't do it. Alright. I know what you're thinking. There was another one on the door here. Probably that. No, it's an empty. It's no good. Since my carbon filter here is also empty, I think I'll go ahead and do a swap of that. Looks like we need to drink some more water already. Just go ahead and do that now. I'm probably going to have to kind of ration my food for a minute here. Let's go ahead and make another carbon dioxide filter so I don't have the same problem in probably like 20 minutes. I don't know how long these filters last, honestly. Why don't we go ahead and clean out our suit tank as well. So we'll go ahead and put this up on this. And we'll turn our filter on. We'll close our valve so it sucks only the gas from inside this thing. And it is empty-ish. Make sure it's all gone. That's the plant analyzer. You can't do much with a plant analyzer if you want to see if there's anything in your tank. So that canister is completely empty now. So we can go ahead and come over here and shut that off. Do not open the valve until after you've got the tank off the wall. Otherwise, it'll just put the air from in the room in my waste tank, which we don't want to do. All right. We're good with that. Let's grab this cereal bar and make a quick snack of it. Finish this one off. And that should get us going. So we're going to we're not going to eat for a little bit. Not till our plant is almost grown up. Let's check on our plant. Why not? Make sure our plant is still doing good. Alright, our plant is showing a 110% efficiency on growth. That means we're doing very good. Light efficiency is 107% on Europa. That's a big win. Alright, so that's going well. Once it reaches... I don't know why I keep hitting double escape on myself. Once that reaches... Actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. Since we've got it automated already, I'm going to go ahead and plant a second plant. I want to kind of stagger these so they come out about the same time. So we're going to do our second one here. When this one's about here, when this guy gets to about this level, I'll plant the third one here. And we'll be good with that. Check CO2 levels in the room. Make sure we're good. Let's get the right thing here. Oh, I just dropped that on the floor. Butterfingers. Okay. In our room, we have 7.7% carbon dioxide. So that's... It's kind of low for the amount of pressure we have in the room, but I mean, I'm breathing out carbon dioxide. That's about the only place I have carbon dioxide. We're going to have to deal with that later. At some point, we will have to fix that. I don't have any other way of doing it. Oh, one other thing. Since this thing is just on all the time, it's outside, the way you can turn this off so you save power. Like if you have power problems, just unplug the wire. You can do it that way. That's simple. You can also hook up a button or a switch or something like that that will you can toggle from inside. You'll have to add another logic circuit to read that and then to write it to the machine as well. So you'll have to do 2 more logic IOs to do that. Or you can do that with IC10 if you're so inclined. Okay, let's go mine. Let's go mine before the sun goes down so I can't see the ores and I won't know where everything is. Oh, there's one other thing I want to do. Inside here, no, actually it's inside here. This one off. There is a thing called the ore detector. Let's pull this out. I'm going to go ahead and make this. I have solder, so I need to come over here and get it. You have to have solder for this, so it's a little bit more advanced if you are running into a... You need gold and silver in there, so we're going to make the ore detector. I'm going to try this thing out. Alright. This thing needs a battery, so let's make it a battery. A small one should be just fine. Small battery. Need some iron in here. Get some over here. Turn that off. Make a battery. Okay. Just enough. What did we run out of? We ran out of iron? Didn't I just melt a whole bunch? Oh, there it is. It's up there. Okay. We get a little battery here. I'll go ahead and put this little battery in there, and then we'll charge this one up as a replacement. Right. Now we get a full battery here. I'll go ahead and put that in my suit. My mining belt still needs a full battery. And okay. Alright. We're going to do a little thing about the ore detector. Alright, so this little device here will help you find ores. Since we're going to be going into the dark, it's probably going to be very efficient for us to use to find ores, right? It doesn't give you an exact location, it just kind of gives you a you're nearby it type thing. So it's only going to find ores within a certain distance of yourself. Let's see if the ore detector is in here and see if we can find out specifics. Range, there is nothing about a range on it, so... Anyway, the closer the player is to the selected type of ore, the more the indicators will light up. So as you get closer to things, it will detect the ore nearby. And then we'll go outside and we'll just use this thing to find us some more iron and some nickel so we can make some Invar. I need nickel for that. Put these oxides up in my belt, or in my backpack rather. And then we're going to go mine for some goodies. We're doing on time. Okay, we own 30 minutes to do those first 2 automations. I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and finish out our arc furnace stuff. Let me run that one more time. I'll show you how that's working. So I have one more piece of iron in my in my bag here. Oop. Guess I'm full on my actual belt here. Yeah. And the tablet should be out. Oh, you know what? Well, you know what else we should do? I know what else we should do. Something I haven't done yet. Let's do this. We're going to make a beacon, a tracking beacon. I need the iron from over here. We have not had a tracking beacon yet, which is dangerous. We might lose track of the base. So we need to keep our tracking beacon. Tracking beacon is good, but if we don't have our tracker thing here, we won't be able to use it. So we're going to pick this guy up. I'll put him over here. Press T to place down wherever I want. We'll take this little battery here and we'll put it inside the top of that. Now, what this does is it will provide you, once you put your tracking cartridge in your machine here, this is how you're going to keep yourself from getting lost. Now, you can see what your current location is, XYZ. You can also write that down, like before you have a beacon, and then you can know, well, I have to do the math to figure out, well, I'm X144, Y69, and minus 598Z. So you can write those coordinates down and then do coordinate tracking to find your base if you really had to in a pinch. Okay, this makes it so much easier. You just turn it on and then use your little scroll wheel, and it points directly at that beacon, which is so handy. You can find out where it is. You still see the coordinates and everything, but you can also see exactly how far away you are. As I'm standing over here on the other side, I'm 13 meters away from my tracking beacon, and it gives me a direction of which way I need to go to find that tracker. So as long as it's in your base, you'll know where you are at all times. So there's another little handy tip for you to use. That's your tracking beacon editor. You can mark that spot right there for tracking beacon short. We'll have a short on that too. I'm just loading up the shorts today. We got 3 going today. We're doing great. All right, so power's going to stay on that thing for a little bit. My battery is now fully charged for my mining drill, so I'll go ahead and throw that in there. Butterfingers, you dropped it on the ground instead of putting it into the machine. Man, oh man, those Butterfingers. I have Butterfingers. All right, so we got our tracking beacon on. We'll be able to find our base now, no matter what. We can go as far as we want away from the base now. We'll always be able to find our base, as long as that thing has power. If it runs out of power, yeah, that's a problem. But right now, we're not going to worry about that. We're outside in the nice, cool air of Europa. All right, let's do our tracking beacon. Let's turn the tracker on. Let's go. I'm going to just come walk away from our base for a little bit here. I'm going to go a little bit further out. What we want to do is we're going to turn this thing on. So right now it's telling me we're nearby some copper, which is good. But now there's no copper anywhere nearby, so we're just going to keep walking. Getting near some copper. Okay, so you kind of listen to the audio. The higher pitch when I aim that way. When I look that way, it's lower. So it's somewhere in this direction. Alright, I think we're on it. Alright, so let's go see if we can find a... Let's see if we can find some copper, like right below us here. Should be right here below us somewhere. Let's find out. It's not visible on the surface, so if this works, then that'll kind of give us an idea. I'll dig a little hole right here, kind of get us an idea of what's around us. What I'm looking for is maybe even some like coloring of the ground. So, all right, so I don't see any. Let's... this way. Down again, so it's somewhere. Oh, look. Let's see, we got a little bit of a slight discoloration there. That's gonna be it right there. There it is. We found some copper under the surface. Turn this thing off, that's kind of obnoxious. Alright. Well, cool. We found our copper, right? So when you're mining around in an area like this, now you've got your ability to find ores, which is really nice if you don't see them on the surface, which you don't always. Sometimes it's just below the surface, just like this copper was. So you'll miss it and you won't find it. So if you use the copper, the ore detector, then you can find all the different types of ores that are in your game. So yeah, there's how you find some copper with the ore detector. Editor, you can mark that one. We now have 4 shorts, guys. 4. Hopefully you guys are liking my shorts too. I'm doing a lot of those. Wasn't much there. So let's see if there's more here, right? So there's still more here. Once you mine it, it actually turns off, so not that way. Gets back this way. There's still more copper here some more, so let's see if we can find it. Must be, it could be just one piece too. I mean, oh, yep, there it is. All right, let's see if there's any more now. Yep, there's still more here, so we'll keep digging in that direction. Let's see. Going down that way. It doesn't detect up and down, but it does detect it if it's up or down. Let's go deeper. So I might be chasing like one piece of ore that's like right here somewhere nearby, and it's just not doing the discoloration like it normally does. It only does the discoloration if there's a lot of ore. There's something here. It's not copper. That's what that is. So let's go back over here. Oh, get here. Somewhere up here by the surface. It's getting higher. Oh, oh, look, there it is. There's one piece I missed. Oh, there's a few more here. There's a few more in there. Yeah, that I missed. There's a few here. Well, there was actually some on the surface, believe it or not. I just didn't see it. Okay, and now it's a low tone. That means there is no more copper here, so we're good with that. Alright, so let's find out what's down here at the bottom of our little pit here. So we use a scroll wheel while it's on. It has to be on. Use your scroll wheel to find it. Looks like it is going to be... I think it's got to be coal, because coal was... Yeah. Get this right. Okay. There was some discoloration I thought I saw somewhere around here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there's coal right here. I need some coal anyway for some steel. So, yep, there's the discoloration. You can clearly see that. Nice purple color. That's our coal. You can kind of get an idea what's also around you when you're down digging with the ore detector. It'll kind of give you an idea what's nearby. Doesn't give you an exact location, but it sure is better than just like trying to roam around looking for something specific. Because you're walking right over ores all the time. There's ores everywhere underground. So, yeah. You never know what you're missing by just walking over it. So the ore detector actually kind of helps out that. Help you find some of your more rare ores. Like I need nickel, and nickel's a lot harder to find. So much wind blowing around here. I actually would have a hard time falling to the ground. If you're ever having trouble finding ores and you got some solder, solder is relatively easy to make on Europa. It's not so easy on like Vulcan. You got some solder, you can make yourself an ore detector. It does come standard in the Nubro kit, so you can also use it there. At least it does for my the Europa starting kit. It is in there. I imagine it's probably a basic item. That seems like it would be a basic thing for us to have initially. Alright. On time. We're doing good. Alright, so that's all the visible coal that I can see. Let's see if there's any more left. There is some more left. Let's try up. It's going down. There's some up that way. Definitely not this way. It's going down and up. So maybe it's above us here. It's down below us. That far down, apparently. A little harder to find with this thing, for sure, than it would be just like to use your ore scanner. You have electro... There's some. Okay, so it's more in this direction. Oh, there it is. That was weird. Going down. So I'm tripping over between two zones here, I think. I'm picking up another set of iron that's farther, or sorry, not iron, but coal that's farther away. Going down here. How far up is that on the bar? right here. Could be above me. Going down, but then going up. No. I'm probably chasing one piece of ore. It's probably visible somewhere out here. I just haven't seen it. It's like right here. Somewhere right here. I've noticed that sometimes when I'm using like the specs. Oh, there it is. I've sometimes noticed when I use the like the glasses that you can, that ore still stays even though it's not actually there physically on the screen. So I don't know if that's gonna inhibit the use of the. What's this more here? Okay, there we go. We got it all. There's another ore node nearby, so we're not gonna worry about that. All right, so we've got that. We've got copper. Put that in there. I came out here for iron, so let's go find some iron. Okay, iron is this way. I can see it right there. I wonder, is there iron here? There's iron here. Go ahead and mine this. Oh, there's gold here too. That's helpful. So we'll get iron and gold. We'll take both. We're gonna get a bunch of iron because we're gonna need a lot of iron. Chutes and steel and all sorts of good stuff. So we're gonna get ourselves all prepped up. Mining is like one of the necessary evils of the game. It's one of the more boring things to watch for sure. But definitely how to find it is things that people are always asking. How do you find ore? If I'm looking for something specific, how do I find it? You can look around on the surface, but that only scratches the surface. Yeah, dad joke. Anyway, so got to use your equipment to your advantage. Use your iron scanner, use your iron detector, your ore detectors, ore detector, ore scanners. To find stuff, you have tools, use them, and you will do well with it. There's going to be a lot of gold here. Fill up my bag. Turn this thing off while you're doing your sorting. There is definitely more gold here. I see more gold. Alright, so once we get all this gold mined up, we'll go back to the base. Make some more chutes. We'll finish our automation for our arc furnace. Got a hard stop here in about 40 minutes, so we're only going to be streaming for that much longer. I've got a ad running here in about 7 minutes for about a 3-minute break. That's going to be in a little bit. Alright, so it looks like I've got all the ore that I can visibly see. So let's check our ore scanner for any more iron. There's definitely iron here. Not in that direction. It's going to be below me here. Oh. Down a little bit here. Let's do this. Let's leave that on in my pocket. Not this way. I see gold over there, so let's grab that so that won't pick up on the scanner. Getting further away. So somewhere in this direction. It is not down, it is up. It doesn't appear to be up either. Maybe there's just some on the surface, can I see it? Don't see any on the surface. Seems to be going up in this direction. Oh. Is that it over there? See, maybe some discoloration here? It didn't. It's definitely not there. The thing isn't perfect, that's for sure. It doesn't give you vertical direction, except when you get further away from it. So when you go down, it starts going down in tone, then you know it's not below you. If it's up and you're not looking up. Again, the ores kind of can be a little bit finicky sometimes. Sometimes it thinks there's ore there, but there's not. I do see some ore over here, some iron here. It may be picking this iron up. No, I was picking that up. Like right here. There it is. And that was the last piece we needed. Alright. We'll switch back to gold. Make sure we got all the gold here. And the gold. I think I got all the gold. Oh, nope. I'm picking some up here. Probably not here. Let's switch to nickel. I've got enough gold for the moment. Here's nickel. Right here. Should be some nickel right there. See? Right below your feet. You never know it. You're looking for the ore you want. You never can know if you're going to find it. Gotta use your tools, man. Tools are what gives you the objectives. Alright, so food and health, or food and water are getting kind of low. So we're going to get this node of nickel here so we can get back to base. And we'll have some nickel to smelt some invar for probably the next video. I'm not going to do it today. I'm trying to keep this one really short, just because I've been doing some very long videos. I did a 3-hour Wednesday deep dive, which I was a little nervous about posting that. Well, I am nervous about posting it. I haven't done it yet. But I didn't want to do it as one long video, so I'm doing some editing on it, make it a little shorter. I'll make maybe 2 videos instead, one talking about the actual construction of the base, and then one about the powering of that base. What to do before your first storm is what I'm calling that one for right now. And those will be coming out hopefully in the next week or so. And then we'll have this video probably posted tomorrow, maybe tonight if things work out and I can get it out tonight. Alright, let's check to see if we got any more nickel here. Yes, we do. There's still more. There's some up there. I see it. My hand is going numb. Hold my mouse too close or too tightly. Loosen up. I should probably let that on. Okay, yeah, we got it all now. Alright, so, well, gee, we don't know where our base is. We've wandered away so far. How can we ever find our way home? Well, we have our tracker on, so we may as well go ahead and use that too, right? Well, look at that. Our base is 190 meters in that direction, so let's walk. See if we can find our base again. It's this way. Now you can like turn this thing off so you don't waste your power in your tracker, because obviously if you lose power on your tablet too, you're going to be in trouble unless you have some batteries in your pocket, which every tool should have a battery in it. I mean, I'd pull the ore detector battery out and use that. Are you going to keep your lander? No, it's already blown away. I've already had a couple storms. It's gone now. And I only had the little capsule in a box, because we're doing brutal start here, so we didn't have much to start with. So if you missed those videos, you can go back to my YouTube channel, GokouZWAR, or YouTube/GokouZWAR, and you can find our first videos on there. I got all the videos posted in the long play. So yeah. Yeah, that's been gone for a little bit now. We're on day 21 here. So alright, we are back home. Yay. Home sweet home. Alright, we can turn the beacon off because we're not going out anymore. Always remember to turn that on before you leave. Because otherwise you'll forget and you won't have it. Let's go ahead and drink and eat real quick. Get a little quickie drink there. I'm gonna have to bust out. I only get 2 cereal bars left, so hopefully these plants have been growing well for me. Alright, so that handles the food and water problem. For the moment. Alright, so we're gonna have an ad break for about 3 minutes here. And don't you worry, we will not play the game while we are in an ad break. I do not play game while we're in ad break, so you don't miss anything, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. It says starting soon. I don't know when it'll be here the next few minutes, but once I see it, I pause the game. And then we go into our member-only section. If you're a subscriber, then you can ask me questions. That's what we do during subscriber mode. I'm just gonna recharge my batteries. Gonna do anything important. Alright, so yeah. Ad's gonna start sometime in the next few seconds. I mean, it tells me here's your ad break time, and then it doesn't actually start my ad break. Like, make up your mind. I'm gonna change this wire out for a heavy wire. Actually, I need to do that too. Wait. We are now back from our ad break. I appreciate you sticking with us through the ads. Thank you for supporting the channel in your way. We appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. And so we're now resumed the game. The only thing I did on the break was I was charging batteries, and I replaced this single small cable with a heavy cable, so you didn't miss much. And now we can resume. So we're back from our mining run. So now we're going to smelt some stuff, and I'm going to show off our automated arc furnace here that we built earlier in the stream. If you missed that, you can always catch that on a YouTube video later or in the VOD here on Twitch. For right now, we'll just show off how it works. I need to smelt one more thing. Actually, do I? Hold on. You know what? I don't need to. Hold on. Let's do something real quick here. I'm gonna go back inside. I'm gonna make some chutes with the. I did have some iron. Let me see how much iron I have in here. Yeah, I got 38 grams. Let's go ahead and grab that out of here. All right. So we'll take this iron and put it in over here. Let's go into here. Nope, I'm sorry. What am I doing? This is not the right machine. Pop that back out of there. All this stuff's got to come out. Iron's always the last thing to come out. It's so annoying. All right, we're going to come over here. Oops. And we'll start that. All right, so we're going to build 3 or 4. I don't need that many. I need to come out 1, 2... 3, 4, yeah, 4 should be enough. And 5, actually, I need 5. 3, 4. I have a hard stop here in 30 minutes, 28 minutes for the video today, so this is kind of a shorter one today. I usually stream for about 2 hours, but we got some stuff going on today, so I gotta get ready. We're doing some grilling and all that good stuff. Family coming over. Could be coming over anytime now. Where is the stinking input? There it is, inlet. Okay. Put an inlet right here. Put a corner below it. Back out to the furnace. So what we do is we put our ore in here, and it will spit out and go into here, and then go all the way over to my arc furnace over there. So, do I have enough? Actually, do I have enough? I think I'm going to need... I need a couple more chutes, actually. Let's make a few more chutes. Just to be safe. If I have too many chutes, it's fine. We'll put them on a shelf. with all the other junk that I'm not using. What you grilling? I am grilling hot dogs and hamburgers today, sir. I'm cooking for about 20 people, maybe 25, possibly. Depends on who shows up. It's gonna be a lot of people. My wife is out buying the goodies. Make spicy burgers, which is a family favorite. All right, hook this up here. We'll do another straight there. We'll do a corner. Yep, I made one too many, but that's okay. All right, so now when we put it in here, it's going to go through this machine. It's going to go into here, and it will process it and then spit it out. Now, the cool thing about this is that because I have several of these, you know what? I'm going to take these down. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to see if I can put a window thing in here so I can see what is in these. I think it costs any more than that. Oh, it does take 2. Okay, so we'll just have. I'll put the window over here actually, just so I can see what's still in it. What's next to go in, right? The window here. Is that? Yeah, that's it. Okay, chute window. Awesome. We'll do this straight through. Straight piece. There. Okay. So we'll put it in here, and they'll queue up in here, and we'll see what the next one is. I'll put another one over here, maybe later. But yeah, then this circuitry over here will automatically run the button because you have to manually push this button to start. But our circuitry here will allow you to push that button. So if you miss that part, you can check out that full setup in the VOD later or on YouTube. If you're not subscribed over on YouTube, go check that out. GokouZWAR is my name on YouTube, just like it is in here. I have all sorts of guides on that channel right now. How to make steel. I'm gonna have your guide for how to automate your food, your grow light here. Speaking of which, we have food. We have a potato seed. Yay! Okay, and we have 2 potatoes. But we don't have a microwave yet, so I'm gonna need to go make that next. I'm gonna go ahead and replant that, and now we have seeds. Actually, I probably should have kept that seed. Okay, well that's fine. Those will spoil there on the wall. Hopefully not. Anyway. Alright, so now that we have our furnace automated, I don't have to go outside anymore. And that's the great thing about this, right? So I can throw my ores in here. Like, see, I got some smaller ones. I'll just put this one in here. So you have to get really close to make this work, because this is just a drop on the ground, but okay, so it goes in there, and look, it's running automatically. When it's done, it'll spit it out over here, and then I will have copper over here. Let's see what else we got. I got some more of that. Throw that in. Let's smelt some of the gold. And what else can we smelt? I guess we'll need more copper. I need to keep at least... need one more stack to do another stack of steel, but right now we'll do that. We'll make these. Go ahead and smelt these. Whoop, clunk. Throw it in there. That'll make a way to get in there. You just do a little toss and it'll go in there. Yeah, I could keep some of this here. Probably should have smelted that last one. But okay, whatever. We can kind of look out there. We can see, look, iron is the next thing on the queue. So once that's done with that copper in there, then the iron is next. So I can kind of get an idea what's going on. We can kind of see what's going on. The machines. Oh, the silicon. That would be a good thing to smelt. Let's do that. Little Q and basketball. Oh, see, you can't do any more in there. After that, it basically will throw out anything. Wink. Boy, it bounces off there. It won't let you go in. Once you can see the top of that ore, that means that's like the last piece you can put in there. So we got a full queue going. I've got bars everywhere. I've got junk everywhere. I kind of need to clean up my base a little bit. You know what else I need to do? I need to open my helmet so I stop wasting my suit stuff. I need to refill my tank here in a minute. Probably, let's go ahead and clean out my waste tank also. How we do that is we close this valve right here. This valve is inputting from outside air. This is how we take pollutants out of the air if we need to. Alright, and it will turn this machine on here. It filters out our pollutants and spits everything back out into the air. So if there's any pollutants in there... Oh, there was our copper bar. It just dropped here, and now we're on to the next one. Gold is next. It was iron that was in there next. Anyway, so we close the valve here so it sucks only all the stuff from this little tank right here. And then that way we can make sure that our tank is clean. This is how we clean our waste tank. And what it does is takes all of that gas that's in there and just spits it back out into the air, except for the pollutants. And once that's done, you pull the tank down, you open the valve, and then that's how you clean your tank for right now. That's how I do it right now. All right, so we got some iron now. So now I can do more stuff with this iron. Okay, what do we need to do with this iron? For right now, we don't need to do anything with the iron, I don't think. Make some more filters, but I think we're good on filters. We're kind of like at a good stopping point here, but I want to do some cleanup. So let's do some cleanup. Wall pieces here. We're going to build walls to cover up all the junk. Cover up our walls. I need plastic sheets for that. Those are iron walls on the outside too. We're going to put these good walls outside. Okay. Do we have any plastic sheets up there? I don't see any more, so we'll have to get that silicone out. There's some here. Some plastic sheets with this silicone. I do not have enough silicone. Ignore that. I'll have to go mine some later. Some plastic sheets. We'll probably also need some steel sheets. Use this stack of steel. Some walls up, make this place look pretty. Oh, that'll be enough. Watch. I need to make one more. They're half a gram per sheet, so I want to keep my grams even. All right, let's catch up on chat. Here's a great grill food, but it takes 1 day to prep. Barbecue shotgun shells, stuffed macaroni with hamburger, sausage, cheese, and veggies. Season as you see fit. Wrap in bacon and let sit in the fridge overnight. Grill the next day. Ooh, that does sound good. Ooh. Sir, you're going to have to share your recipe book with me at some point. That sounds really good. Well, anything with bacon, man. You got me right there. Bacon is good. What happened to my mining drill? There it is. It's not in the right belt. Put that battery in there. Now we're fully charged for the next trip. Let's put all this ore from here. This is actually the ore I should have been smelting. We got a lot of nickel. Maybe we go ahead and do... I don't have time to do Invar. I want to do some Invar. We'll do that on the next stream, though. Next Sunday. So if you haven't already been a part of our streams before, I usually stream on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. Check my YouTube channel for posts. I will tell you when I'm going to stream, because I don't really know what my weekends are like sometimes. Like this weekend is kind of weird. So I do streams on Saturday around in the early time in the mornings, and then mornings United States time, of course. That's where I'm from. And then on Wednesday evenings, we do a deep dive. We have a laboratory that we go in. We do little experiments. We'll test out stuff. We'll set up some things on there. I need to finish setting up my automation for the arc furnace on that one, but we're also going to work on setting up a forge, a furnace for smelting the alloys as well. We might do an automation on that at some point. Yeah, we're just kind of working on Europa in a more controlled environment. In the Wednesday deep dive I did last week, we built a base using just the starter kit for new bros, so we kind of get an idea of what you can use, that what you can build before you have to even pick up the mining drill. Don't go out and mine or anything like that, and see what you can build. And so that video will hopefully be coming out this week. If you want to go see the full video, you can check the VOD here on Twitch as well. It's on there. You can watch that after we're done here. So yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on around here. So for Stationeers, if you're a Stationeers fan, this is definitely a place to go. Be sure you subscribe and follow and like and all that good stuff so the algorithms can find you and push it out to other people. Let's see, what can we do? Let's finish up. Let's make some steel walls for floors. We'll start doing some of that. Floor, not those ones. I like the flat kits. Flat wall kit. So with flat wall kit, we're going to need some iron for our... So I got all my iron in there. Well, actually, do I have all my iron in there? No, actually I don't. Oh, look, I spit out the next one. Gold is done. Iron is going to be next. Let's keep this running. I don't have any more iron. I think iron is coming out soon. I think iron's actually in there right now. One of the other things you can do with the automation is you could actually put like a wall, like a, think of like a panel over here that says like what's in there, and it will display what it is, what's in there. That'd be kind of a neat little thing to set up at some point. This is our survival shack though, guys. This is our survival shack. This isn't going to be the final base. We're going to build a huge base right over here in that flat zone right over there. I'm going to build a nice big base down there. It's going to be kind of high up off the ground. It's going to have a trade center. We're going to build an actual, like, legit base over there. This is just the start of what we're going to do here. So, get ready, because more is coming. What do we need the iron for? What did I just need that iron for? I needed it for... Gosh, I forgot already, but that stinks. Memory sucks. Okay, we're going to put that right there. I need the wall... Oh, yeah, now I know it. Now I know. I remember. Paint. We need to color our walls and floors. We're going to paint our walls and floors. Paint. We're going to do a black on the floor. Black can... And we'll do blue skies, because I like blue sky. Plunk. More iron just fell out over there. Alright. That's good. Go into our handy-dandy spraying room in there as soon as we get some walls. Alright, so now we're going to build some flat wall kits. They use steel, and I'll need sheets and stuff for them as well. This is flat wall kit right here, actually. Alright, so we got one here. I'm going to put that... I'm actually going to throw that into the airlock. Grab this one. We're going to go in the airlock with these two pieces right here. Okay. We're going to just let that run. Close our suit. Turn our suit on so we don't suffocate inside our own suit. Spit that air back into the room. Okay. Now that we have our room secure, we can do our painting in here without putting pollutants into our base. So we're going to paint this flat wall kit blue. Put that over there. And then we're going to take the other one. We're going to paint this one black. Okay. Now, the trick is don't pick up both of these. Now, there's pollutants in the air in here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to just evacuate that outside. That way we don't get any pollutants inside the base. So when you want to paint, that's what you do. Now, the trick here is that once you have one of each, you just keep one. Don't stack them up on anything else, right? And so I've got all these right here. I want to make all these blue. So I pick them up. As I pick them up, they go into the stack and they're all blue, even though they're white to start with. And then these ones here, we're going to pick them up and now they're all black. So you don't have to paint more times than you got. So you just paint one and then you just stack them up inside the same stack. And then once I get 9 of these, I'll have floor pieces for 9. Okay. So that's 9 there. I'm going to make 9 roofs. Need to make some more walls. We'll leave the walls white, though. I think I have any more wall kits. We got 15 more minutes, and we're gonna stop the stream here. I got 9 roof. I have 10 roof pieces. That's good. Let's make some steel sheets. We got 40 grams of steel left over. Should be more than enough to do this. All right, so we'll place these black ones on the ground. Everything's gonna go bouncing. This is always fun to watch. So we're gonna set this to be a... First off, let's get it on the ground. There it is. Okay, so now what you can do is the two-tone that I use faces a certain direction, so I'm going to make sure that all of them have the panels and hatch will be always on this side here of the block. And then you don't change the position, you go down here to two-tone, and then when you do this, they'll be in the same pattern on the ground. As long as you don't lift up or do anything else, they'll always be in the same place. Boink and boink. Okay. Grab the sheets. And now, we shall have legitimate floors in our base. Look at that. Hides all our wires. And now our floor is pretty. I can find this spot. Come on, where's the sweet spot? All the stuff is on the floor. It's making it hard to... Boink! Okay. Alright, there's our floor. Looks all purty. It's all purty. It's so purty. Alright, where's our blue one? Our blue skies. This one I use for the ceiling. I use flat. So it doesn't matter which way it faces. It just goes up. Hide all of our ugly wires. Okay, there's our one left. Now, I just realized I needed one more extra floor piece, but... Look at that. Ain't that nice? We got some floors, we got the walls are coming up now, and I need one more wall there and there. And then some on the back wall over there. We'll hide all those. It'll be nice and pretty in here, and then we'll go do that in there. I still have some more piping and wiring to do in there, but yeah. Now we have pretty walls and floors and ceilings. Makes it look a little bit more professional now. Let's finish out the wall pieces. Make some kit walls. Also uses steel. I need to make one more sheet. Let's turn sideways. You get more than one piece, so I don't have to do this one at a time like this and scroll through every single one. It's actually all we need for this room for right now. Oh no, I need one more. For that wall there, I forgot. And we'll do one for the airlock. We need two for the airlock and a roof and a floor for the airlock. I don't know which way it's facing. It's good. So that. Okay. Wall piece is crooked. I believe that's the right direction. Okay, yeah, we got enough of this for now. Make some more later if we need them. Oh, we do need to eat. Oh, that's what we need to do. Hold on. We have one more very important thing to do. We gotta make some food. I've only got one cereal bar left, but I have these potatoes and they'll spoil in 10 hours, so we need to do that before too long. Let's see. Let's go make a table before we waste all our stuff. Table. Tables. I need copper for the table. There's wire in the table for whatever reason. Oh, I need more copper. Well, gee, I guess we'll just have to come over here to our automated arc furnace. Pull some more copper. Okay. We're going to make that. Let's go over here. We're going to make a microwave. I need iron and gold for that. I got gold there, and I probably have some iron over here in my stack of ores. Yes, I do. Okay. Make the microwave. We'll go set up our table over here.
Hydration critical.
Oh no, hydration critical. Whatever will we do? To drink. I think I'll use that table. Standard table. So, since we have some wire here, we got wire everywhere. I got like 3 stacks of wire laying around here. Wire up our table here. Gonna need power for our microwave. Okay. Table's now powered on. Or at least powered up so it can stuff. Actually, I should have that in there. Okay. Bunk. Just spits out a microwave out of this machine. It's an amazing machine. Alright, we put that up there on the table. We get our wrench out. I like this one here because the power plugs are kind of flat along the top of the table. So when you plug it in, get this little flat plug on the top. I like it. It looks fancier. Okay, so we have our potatoes, right? Where did our potatoes go? Probably still in the locker over here, right? Alright, we'll swap that out for our ore detector. We don't need that right now. Alright, so we'll come over here to our microwave. We'll split off one. I don't want to put two in there. Alright, we'll close that and microwave our one potato. This is our very first time eating food on Europa that we have made ourselves from scratch. Yum, yum, yum. Now, the downside to doing this is if you look down there at my vitals in the bottom left or bottom right of the screen now, I only have 2 stars. So that means I'm going to have to drink water more frequently until I get some more advanced foods. We're okay with that. We are able to live. That's all that matters. I have sheets. Steel sheets stacked twice there. That was no good. I'm not going to bake the other one. So like if you wait until this is almost completely gone and then bake it, it resets your timer. So you have more time to do that. Now, this will spoil in 6 hours, so I will have that ate before then anyway. So let's get this buzzing in my ear going. I'm sick of hearing that. All right. So we got our water taken care of. We've got our food taken care of. We're going to have to drink more often. See, now we only get up to 100% on our water thirst now, so we don't have that up to 125% when you have 3 stars. When you have 4 stars, you go up to 150 or 175%, which is great. What do we have in my hand? I have iron walls. Don't have any more iron walls. I've got so many of these bottles and not so much junk that I don't need anymore. Could pull one of those containers out or one of those bags and put it over here somewhere and fill it up with junk I don't need anymore. Alright. I do need to clean this crap up because there's so much crap here. Start off just by putting the ores in the various machines. Solder is probably going to be mostly used there. So is in electrum. Gold. Do we have any gold in there? I don't have any gold in that one. We'll put some gold in that one. Kind of spread it around. We'll leave those right there for right now. We will shut off our arc furnace because I don't want to smelt anymore. That's how we shut it off. Just unhook the wire. Alright, we'll charge our batteries up, and then I think we're going to call that a stream. That'll be the end of the stream for today. But if you have missed our stream, you can always watch it on YouTube. We put the full stream on YouTube, long forms. Out there, you can watch the whole thing. I do put chapters in it, so you can fast forward, rewind back to specific sections, so you don't have to go hunting for it, which is one thing I hate when someone puts a 3-hour video up on YouTube. This guy. You definitely want to use those chapters and all that stuff for sure. All right, dude, thank you for your follow, sir. Appreciate that. Why didn't my notifications go up on the screen, or did it? To go back and watch that later. Yeah, follow for here if you want notifications for here. Go check out YouTube as well. GokouZWAR is on YouTube as well. Okay. Yeah, I have a full playlist of all the videos we've done up to this point. This is the 4th episode of this little series here. Need some plastic sheets. Hopefully I have enough of this stuff in here. We'll finish up this. Did I make that one extra steel? I did not. Make this room look pretty before we go. One more down there I need to do. One here. I may have to pull that wall down, actually. Can't get behind here very easily anymore. Stop, 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 stop. Stop, stop, stop. No, give me that. There it is. Okay. I know it's still, like, far behind the wall. You can't even see it. Alright, what else we got? We got this one here. We got this one here. I got the one here in the locker, or the airlock locker. Okay. Yeah, our base is coming along. We got some doors that'll be up here for this area here. Our second plant is already thriving as well. All of our food is all thriving all on its own, which is always a good thing. I'm going to have to clean up this mess on the next stream for sure, because this is getting messy. I might put another locker right there. I don't know if that'll work. Oh, you know what? Hold on. one more thing, before we go, before we go. Extra bonus content. Let me put some iron out here. You notice how all this stuff comes out this side, right? That's what we're gonna fix right now. So we need to put this over here. Shoot. Oh, yeah, that shoot. Yeah, that is Chutes. Okay. So sitting there looking at it, literally looking at it, and it said Chutes. What you can do is, if you hate things coming out the side like that, and like landing going into your machines, you can stick a chute right there on the front of it like that, and now it spits out the front. That's it. That's good. Now, what I like to do also is I'll actually run a chute system from the top one so that they all go down to here on the bottom, and they'll spit out right down here instead of like they'll come shooting out the top. But yeah, I mean, this is the easiest way you can do this. So if you put your machines on the side of your building like this, you just put them like that, and then they'll spit out the front, and then you don't have any problems with stuff going into other machines. Like I was having this stuff kept getting thrown into this machine all the time. It's so annoying. Well, now they won't, because they're going to come spitting out. They're going to land right here in front of me. So, yeah. Little bonus tip. Put your machines facing forward with little chutes. There's another short, guys. Editor, you can mark that one as a short for adding chutes to your machines. Okay. I think we'll call that a stream. Let's switch back over to my moon base. This is my moon base. Oh, actually, we'll go ahead and we'll save this real quick so I can make sure I remember where we were at on here. We'll name this, I know you can't see this, but episode, I can spell, episode 5 start, so I know where that's going to be. All right, so that's handled. Won't play anymore on that, so yeah. So that wraps up for this stream. And if you got the answers you were looking for, and I hope I've earned your subscription today for that. And if you're still watching, obviously you want to be sure you go ahead and you like something about this video, so you may as well go ahead and like the video, right? And, you know, that way it will get pushed to other people out on YouTube as well. So, and if you're ready to keep moving forward, you want to see the next stream, you can find that down in the lower right corner. If it's out. If it's not out, then it won't be there. But if you see it there, it's available. You can go and watch that right now. If you want to see the entire series, a full guide of playlists, there it's going to be down there on the left, on the lower left side down there. And the last video should be up here in the upper left corner. So if you want to check those videos out, be sure you check it out. I thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for sticking with me, and God bless.